Hello Internet, come step into my time machine of every version of Minecraft in ascending order, keeping the world wherever possible. With all of the updates over the years, Minecraft has become an increasingly complex game, and I feel like it's time to go back to simpler times to experience the game from where it once was. I also want to see what happens when I upgrade the world through each incremental version. In Season 1, we go way back to 2009, with the original builds of Minecraft. Season 1 will only span 2 episodes, and will cover all of the pre-classic era. Be ready, because the first version is literally 2 blocks, in a cube made of dirt and stone. Old Alpha RD-132211. The first time I spawned into the world, all I saw was green. As I started moving around, I went to mine a block, but found that left-click placed blocks. How strange. I also found I could place a block inside myself. This made it pretty easy to create floating blocks. I immediately created the oldest parkour course in Minecraft, and proceeded to ace it the first try. Not that I'm claiming it was the hardest in Minecraft. Next, I did the only logical thing to do in a Minecraft version without crafting. I dug a big old hole. You might notice how the grass and cobblestone is layered. In this first version, that doesn't even have selection of blocks, cobblestone and grass is automatically allocated based on the layer it's placed at. With a hole dug, it was time to build something. I started with a simple smiley face, but I wasn't done just yet. With the final blocks placed, I had a nice piece of artwork that would last for the rest of the world. I also dug another hole right next to my first one. With many more versions to get through, and very little to do at the moment, the last thing I decided to do in this version was dig down, all the way down. I broke the first rule of Minecraft and saw what happened when I reached the bottom of the map. Turns out, there's no bedrock layer, so I fell straight out of the world. There's also no death state, so I just kept falling. Old Alpha RD-132328.
Steve! Here we observe the wild Steve in his natural habitat.
Steves were everywhere, and I think this was the main change in this version, as pretty much everything else seemed to be the same. As I explored my build, I noticed a Steve was stuck inside. This gave me an interesting idea. If I made the wall 2 blocks high on the inside, and 1 block high on the outside, maybe I could start catching Steves. In fact, just in the time it took me to finish building, I already had 3. I wonder what happens if I funnel Steves down into my void hole. I made the 3x3 deeper, as well as the hole in the middle, and a Steve immediately fell in. I had others on higher levels, and I wasn't happy with one, but I didn't have the patience to wait for them all to funnel down, so I gave this one a bit of a helping hand. The goddamn ninja managed to hop over my hole, twice. He eventually fell in though. I would have been satisfied with 2, but a third one fell down, and I'm not about to crush his dreams like that. This time, I made sure to seal in the hole properly, so he couldn't ninja himself over it like the last one. And with that, I had 3 captives. Because I had built 2 of these holes, and the one I'd captured Steves in didn't go down to the void, it was time to mine out this one too. The Steves are free! Look at them go, they're having a great time. Old Alpha RD-2009-0515. Interestingly, this is the only build named after the year, month, day, rather than the day, hour, minute. 2 things are immediately noticeable. Everything was made of stone, and there was a block in the top right. Sadly less Steves too. My creations must have looked at Medusa, they're all made out of stone now. But there's no time to get caught up on that. I created deeper walls on each layer of the funnel. I also finally had an opportunity to place down my own blocks. I had a cobblestone path from the Steve trap, and wanted to play with dirt. Turns out they already had saplings. I don't think I need to emphasize that they didn't grow into trees yet though. But that didn't stop me having fun with what is a completely new block, at least in the timeline of this series. I was honestly impressed to see that saplings decayed in the wrong conditions. With some gardening done, it was time to readdress everything being made of stone. And then, with 6 blocks to choose from, I built a glorious dirt house to survive my first night. It's not like wood planks weren't actually an available block, and I didn't have limited resources either, but it just felt right to start with a dirt house. However, no house is complete without furniture, so I decided to build, well, it's meant to be a table, but it doesn't really scale very well. Neither do the chairs. I towered up and looked across my world. It's a shame this version has less Steves. It felt like the first garden was too far away, so I decided to build one in front of my house as well. Still need a fence though to keep those pesky Steves off my property. And finally, the life of the garden. It was starting to look quite homely. With somewhere to stay, I was done for this version. Old Alpha RD160052. This version crashed immediately. I tried to launch it again, but I had the exact same result. After trying a few more times, unsuccessfully, I went back to the previous version to see if I'd created anything that could be causing it to crash. The only thing I could think of was that I'd placed an invalid sapling that was still waiting to decay. But after exploring, I didn't really find anything, and after relaunching 160052, the game still crashed. Still having no luck, I tried creating a new installation and launching the game, but again it crashed. Working with such early alpha versions, it's unsurprising that there will be bugs and crashes, so I decided in the end to just write this version off as a crash version, and move on to the next one. Old Alpha RD161348. Still playing Minecraft without crafting, it was back to digging holes. However, this time, I was planning on building something out of wood. The dirt house is a classic, but it was time for an upgrade. Even fitted with a sloping roof, this thing really was a step above my last house. But, just to go the extra mile, I even decided to add a fireplace. Granted, there's no fire in the game yet, but that didn't stop me building one. Soon, I was making like Santa Claus and jumping down from the top of my chimney. The lighting kinda does the trick. And again, no house is complete without furniture, so I built another oversized table. As I climbed up to admire my build, I realised another Steve had been captured. It didn't take much work to get this one down. I tidied up my mess and followed him. Unfortunately, he was nowhere to be found. These original RD builds have been quite an interesting insight into the origins of Minecraft, showing how far it's come from its foundation to where it is today. The second and final episode of Season 1 will explore the C builds. These use the same world generation as the RD builds, but there's a reason they're split apart. For now, I hope you enjoyed this trip back in time, and I hope I'll see you again in the future.